Welcome back, everyone. Live and in the mix, we have a very special guest joining us today. She is a creative force behind some of the city's most talked about singles events. Welcome to the show, Miss Nicki.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, ma'am. We have so many questions, so we're going to go ahead and dive in. But Miss Nicki, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into curating single events.
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Nicki. I'm the founder of Connecting Charlotte. I think part of it is definitely a personality trait. I just love connecting people. I'm always the person that's planning vacations and get-togethers and cookouts and all sorts of things just to get people together in really genuine ways. So I think I just love to connect people. That's number one. And then I've also had the opportunity to live in a lot of different cities, a lot of big cities as well, which I got a lot of really cool experiences in. And I found that there were really fun, unique, curated ways to meet people that I really, really enjoyed. And when I moved here a couple years ago, I noticed there was not too much of that. There are some really awesome social groups, volunteer groups, all sorts of fun things. But I was really looking for that more intentional, unique, fun ways to meet people. So I decided to kind of collect those experiences from other places that I've lived and bring a little bit of that fun to Charlotte.
And it's been incredible. I've followed you on social media, and it seems like you are bridging a lot of people together, and that is so amazing. Now, we love that you curate these in-person connection events. Take us through what the speed dating process would be like at one of your events.
Yeah, definitely. Well, to start, it's not the old school movie speed dating. We put a really fun, modern spin on it. So even if people were nervous coming in, they're always like, oh my gosh, I was so nervous, but I had such a good time, like immediately had so much fun. So that's definitely our most popular event. I really, really love those ones. So a little bit about how it works, what you can expect. Everyone before the event will fill out a questionnaire about themselves, their preferences, just takes a few minutes. And then that's kind of how our matchmaking technology pairs people. So when you get to the event, you'll check in, grab a drink, meet some people. We always have a little like cocktail hour style mingling in the beginning. And then we will go into the modern speed dating rounds. So people will meet 8 to 10 people based on the compatibility. So based on their preferences and everything they put in their profile, they'll be paired with the top 8 to 10 people for them in 5 to 7 minute rounds. So really quick, easy, little mini dates. And there's also conversation starters on each table. So you don't even have to think about what you're going to say or have the same conversation at each table. So just make it really easy and efficient for everyone. And then afterwards, about 1 to 2 hours later, they'll get their mutual match notifications. So if they clicked like and the other person clicked like, they will get a mutual match notification. They can continue the conversation.
That sounds like an incredible process. And I love that even if I don't have the right words, you can guide me a little bit in that process.
Exactly. No small talk.
I love that. Now, you also do mixers and a few other events. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. So I think we just have a general other category where we have a lot of fun events, different themes, different activities. So I think people like to meet and experience dating or friendship in different ways. So we like to have a little bit of something for everyone is our goal. So we've done different singles mixers. We've had a pajama party. We do a dating game show that is hilarious and super fun. We had a pet parents one at a dog bar. So just different ways for people to connect. And we also do some friendship events as well. So for example, we had a Galentine's female friendship event that was a ton of fun and really sweet.
I love the connectivity piece, and I love that you're bringing so many people together. It's so heartwarming because in life these days, we all want that connection, and it's good that you're helping people meet friends and their potential match. Yeah. Now, when we come to these events, right, we can't just come any kind of way. So talk with us about how to make a great first impression, right? We want to leave a great impression on everyone we meet. We want them to light that match at the end of the night so we can continue the conversation. What are some do's and don'ts?
Definitely. I would say for do's, be yourself. I think being authentic is very attractive to people. So just being genuine, being yourself, being positive and open-minded. You might meet people that maybe you would have swiped left on a dating app, but you had the best conversation with this person and there's sparks flying. So definitely be open-minded, be yourself, be positive, always have a smile, ask good questions. And then I would say don't put on a mask. Don't try to be someone you're not. Just have fun, be relaxed, and meet some new people.
You hear that? Bring your true self to the event.
Yes.
Now, do you think in-person events will become more popular in an era that's really been dominated by online dating?
Yes, I do think so, for sure. I think we've already kind of seen that trend start. Even outside of dating, right? You've seen run clubs have a huge uptick, different social groups, volunteerism groups, all sorts of ways to meet people in person. I think people are really craving that in a world of online dating, online work, online everything, right?
Yeah.
People really want that in-person, genuine connection, meeting people face to face and having those in-person experiences.
And, with the online dating, I feel like there's so many steps, right? We've all done it. And you got to connect, right? You got to match first. And then from there, you got to start the conversation to make sure the vibe is there. And then you got to schedule a time to go date. And it's so many layers, right? Whereas one of your events, I do feel like it takes away all the other steps. You get to come in person, you get to meet someone, and you get to see if you may potentially find your person. So I love that. To stay on that topic, do you feel online dating helps or hinders that authentic connection?
Yeah, I think it depends how people are using it, right? I think some people are using it with really good intentions and some people are not. Some people might be misrepresenting themselves, what they're looking for. And also just when you meet in person, sometimes there's not that spark, right? You might be going back and forth, joking around. You're so excited for the date. And then you get there, crickets, right? There's just nothing there. You might be both amazing people, but just that spark and that connection isn't there. So I would say it can lead to genuine connections, but I think that is hard to do through a screen. So I think people are really, again, craving that in-person connection to be able to see if there's an actual spark and connection between you two.
Absolutely. And like you said, sometimes it's hard to see and feel the emotions through a screen. So it's perfect to meet in person. How do you balance predicted compatibility with the mystery of human connections, right? Like, because on paper, sometimes people should fit, and sometimes it may be a little bit obvious than others, but you may meet in person, and like you said, there's just not that spark, there's not that connection. How do you balance that?
Yeah, I think compatibility for us is the first step, right? That's kind of our starting point. So all of our events are either you can see your compatibility score at a mixer or you're paired with your most compatible at a speed dating event. And that's a really great place to start. And we kind of prioritize those connections because you know that you have things in common and you're in each other's kind of like preferences. But outside of that, we like to make sure there's a ton of time for mingling and those more authentic connections outside of that too. So we always start with some mingling, end with some mingling. We also have a break in the middle to make sure people are kind of mixing with people that maybe they're not going on the mini dates with, but maybe they saw from across the room, like that person's really cute. Or in the beginning, you were both at the bar grabbing a drink together and he made a really funny joke and you want to talk to him again, something like that. So I think there's definitely a balance. So bringing a bunch of singles together, again, kind of prioritizing those most compatible matches, but also encouraging that natural mix so you can kind of meet everyone in the room. People also make friends a lot during that kind of like mingling time as well, which is super cute.
The pictures from the event looks amazing. They look like they're having a blast. Like, I feel like there's going to be a story that come out of one of your events that we're going to see on Hallmark. I really do. I feel that way.
Thank you.
And so, Nicki, what is the single most important piece of advice you'd give someone who's searching for love?
I was kind of circling back, but to be yourself, that is my number one thing always. I think also like working on yourself, making sure you're the best version of yourself so that you're able to meet your most compatible person, your soulmate, right? So you want to make sure you're on the level that you want to be, and being your full self and bringing your full self to each date, and just the way you carry yourself in order to meet the best person for you. I think that being genuine, being authentic is the most attractive thing to anyone.
I love that so much. Oh, and I can't wait to see how this grows and develop over time. You're going to have a lot of weddings in the near future. I really do feel that way. Well, Ms. Nicki, thank you so much for joining us. We've loved learning a little bit more about Connect in Charlotte, and we can't wait to see what's on the horizon. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, stay amazing.